everyone. Hi, how are you? I'm very happy to see such a nice group come in tonight to this dedication. It's groundbreaking. My name is Richard Gonzalez. I'm the president of Metropolitan Housing Development Corporation, MHDC as we call it for short. I am the president of the company who's developing this project here, and we're very, very happy to do so. Let's give you a little history of MHDC. We're a not-for-profit. It was formed in 1968. Our mission has always been to defend those people who need most. And back in the 1970s, there was a case of discrimination for housing that MHDC took all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court, and we won. That particular case is studied right now in all major law universities in the United States, and I'm very happy to be part of that. Today, there's a lot of people who made this happen. This was a very, very challenging project for us. It was something that we had a vision that we wanted to do. It took about 3, maybe 4 years to really put this from pencil to paper to what we're going to do today. And there's a lot of folks who actually participated in this. First of all, we want to thank the mayor, Mayor Rahm Emanuel. Without him, this would not be here. So he was very, very instrumental in ensuring that we had this done. We also partnered up with CHA. They were very helpful in helping us secure the financing for the project. The community was great. They received the project. They were very happy to hear what we had to do. They embraced it. It's another reason why we're here. So we want to thank the community. And just want to make sure that we all understand that the First Ward has a great alderman, Joe Moreno. If it wasn't because of Joe Moreno and all the problems that he helped us solve in this project, we would not be here today. Joe was very instrumental. There was a point in time where I used to think that Joe used to work for MHDC because he was with us so much trying to make this thing happen. So we really owe him a debt of gratitude. I'd like a round of applause for Alderman Joe Moreno. And with that said, I'd like to introduce our Alderman from the First Ward, Alderman Joe Moreno.
Thank you, Alderman. Thank you. Rich is a very humble man. His vision, and I was very instrumental in this, but without your vision, Rich, and without your organization's vision, we wouldn't be here. So give it up for Rich and his organization for being here. We're really making history here. This will be the largest, the second in the city, but it will be the largest affordable housing development, LGBTQ friendly development. I tell that to Tummy because he's got the first one. I tell him we've got the biggest one here. So it's really making history that we're going to have this right here in Logan Square, and the Logan Square community that's embraced it. I'm going to tell you a little story though. As Rich said, the community really embraced it. We organized and want to recognize Johnny Elias from First Ward, right on the corner. Daniel Castillo and his husband from Alma will also help to organize, and many others. We had our community meeting, Mr. Mayor, with about 150 people right down the street. Because that summer, I actually did get comments from people saying, you're going to bring Cabrini Green back? You're going to bring those people here. No lie. Now, even though 80% of the community supported it, we all know that sometimes the 20%, their voices get very loud. But we were so good in organizing the support of all of you, that great community. Alderman Mell came. Thank you, Alderman Mell, for being here. Let's recognize Alderman Mell and Alderman Ray Lopez. Alderman Ray Lopez as well came, and we showed the haters that that's not what's acceptable in the First Ward, and that's not what's acceptable in Logan Square. So I'm so proud today to also let you know about the name. John Pennycuff and Robert Castillo, named after two individuals prior to being able to be married, were the first folks to register with Cook County as gay men, went on to both be in the Gay Hall of Fame. John, unfortunately, is no longer with us, but we named that after these two great activists because the two things that they activated and agitated for were LGBTQ rights and housing rights. So how perfect to be able to name this great development after Roberto Castillo and his partner, his lover, his husband, I'll call it, John Pennycuff, who's no longer with us. So please recognize Roberto, who's here right in the front row. His brother Rudy's here somewhere. Rudy's here as well. So, in closing, this is the beginning. I can't wait for the ribbon cutting. I hope you all come back. And without further ado, let's welcome the gentleman that's been leading on this issue, parallel to what we've been dealing with this hate towards immigration, right? Towards the Latinos mainly and other immigrants. When you've got someone like Trump in the White House, I'm glad we have someone like Mayor Rahm Emanuel in the city of Chicago. Mr. Rahm Emanuel.
I want to thank the Alderman for his leadership and all the community. This does bring, and I think it's only fitting, and I want to say that, it's only fitting that after 3 days of rain, the sun is out because we're going to break ground on something beautiful and something that reflects the values of who we are as a city. And I want to thank Roberto and John for being trailblazers, for making sure that the city lives up to its values and its ideals of what we try to teach our children, about being inclusive, reflective of our diversity in all our efforts. And the Alderman noted, we are going to fight Donald Trump every step of the way when he turns his back on what it means to be an American and the values of who we are as a country as well as a city. Well, I'm proud that the city is leading the fight, and I believe our court case as being a welcoming city will be the first one heard by the highest court in the land about what it means to stand up and put your ideals to work. Today we're doing two things that are very important, and I think the Alderman noted, and I think it's important, and I want to underscore it. One is the idea of affordable housing. Obviously everybody knows Logan Square right now. You can just see it right over there, what's happening in Logan Square. There's a tremendous amount of development, and that's a different type of development, that's market rate. Here we're going to make sure that people that want to be part of the Logan Square community can afford to live in the Logan Square community because it's diverse. When we say diversity, it's not just sexual orientation, although that counts. It's not just ethnicity, that counts, but it's also income diversity to make sure all walks of life can live in a neighborhood of their choosing, and that is also what we're breaking ground on, is the ideals of affordable housing in this effort. We were going to do this the other day, and I'd like to note that the city is proposing taking something all three aldermen worked with me on, which is transportation-oriented development, which is usually thought of only for rail lines. We're now going to be the city that looks at doing it on very busy bus lines, 4 of them, and taking this very successful concept that helps us do affordable housing from rail to also buses on both Western, Chicago, Halsted, and 79th Street. And take that idea as another way of expanding our opportunities and making sure people from all walks of life can live together. And the second is paying tribute to people that way ahead of the curve spoke up to our values. And when I say that, I mean not only that one time we had only partnership. I remember my work for President Obama when I had worked and made sure that the president signed an executive order. You could not used to be able to, a hospital could actually deny a partner from visiting their partner in a hospital if they did not think that they, even though they were loved ones, from a sense of love. The government never recognized it, and we signed an executive order. If you get Medicaid or Medicare funding, you cannot deny a partner the right to visit their partner, especially in the final days of their life. Could not do it. Today, we no longer as a city or a country have gay and straight marriage. We have marriage, and that's all that counts. And that's a different transformation. So while tomorrow is a celebration appropriately, and we're also marking other parts of Boys Town, today is also a celebration. Celebration of two individuals that taught us what it means to be an inclusive city that brings everybody together with one vision and one goal as a city. And I think it's a proper tribute to name this affordable housing an advocate who called not just for transgender, gay, and lesbian, but affordable housing and the ideas that are ingrained into our DNA as a city. So as we break ground, we're breaking ground on housing, a vision, and recognizing somebody that will be permanently recognized for their ability to raise their voice and raise our consciousness of what it means to be in Chicago, and I want to thank everybody involved in making this, the alderman, the developer, CHA, planning department, all the city council. I do want to say a particular word of thanking Eugene Jones, the head of Chicago Housing Authority. While obviously I give credit for you saying that we did this, I took Gene's money to make sure we did it. But the truth is, half of the 88 units will be CHA units. And I think we're going to show everybody in the neighborhood that CHA affordable housing can be good partners with market rate housing. That's what it means to be a city, one future. So please give a warm reception with the sun out to Gene Jones.
Well, of course, this is going to be real quickly because I'm hot out here. But I want to thank the mayor, the great mayor of the city of Chicago for pushing the envelope. I have to thank my partner, David Reithman, with his staff, and my staff for putting this together, and also making sure that we come to this and to fruition. We were promised that we were going to invest in the North. We're going to continue investing in the North. We're going to continue moving forward on the mayor's initiative about building affordable housing and coexisting with the market rate housing. I think this is going to be a beautiful development when it's done, and these are some of the examples of what we're going to be doing around this city with our collaboration with our partners and our developers. And I want to thank you for being here, and I want to thank you for giving us the opportunity in order to showcase what we can do, something that's affordable and something that's a great opportunity in addition to this great community. Thank you.
Everybody good?
Ready? One, two, three. Do it again. I like the sand over the mud. 1, 2, 3.